Let's go Broncos! We're entering the final stretch of the season, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Coming off a much-needed bye week, the team is in a prime position at 8-5, tied for 7th place in the AFC playoff race. But with 4 crucial games remaining, including matchups against the Colts, Chargers, Bengals, and Chiefs, the Broncos have everything they need to compete as they seek a spot in the postseason. Man, I don't know about you, but I'm so excited about this. It's such a thrill for me to be living this moment, and to make it even better, all that's left is for the Denver Broncos to compete in the Super Bowl. The way things are going, I'm a big believer in that possibility. If you're with me, and would also like to see the Broncos compete in the Super Bowl this season, hit that like button hard. If possible, comment something like, "Nothing will stop the Broncos." Let's go to the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at what's coming up and why each game matters so much on the road to the playoffs. The AFC playoff landscape is as competitive as ever, with several teams jockeying for position. At the top, the Chiefs and Bills are battling for the coveted #1 seed, while the Broncos are aiming to climb from their current position. The Broncos' playoff hopes hinge on overcoming teams like the Ravens and Chargers, who currently hold the tiebreakers. A jump to the 6th seed could set Denver up for a much more favorable first-round matchup. Fans may prefer to see the Broncos face Pittsburgh in the playoffs rather than the Baltimore Ravens, given how the team fared against those two opponents earlier this season. One of the most intriguing scenarios revolves around the possibility of Denver climbing to the 5th seed. Why is this so important? Because the 5th seed would almost certainly mean a first-round matchup against the Houston Texans. While the Texans have had their moments, they're widely considered one of the more vulnerable teams in the AFC playoff field. Broncos fans should be rooting for the team to leapfrog both the Chargers and Ravens to secure this advantageous position. The Texans' recent performances have shown signs of regression, and a matchup against them could be Denver's best shot at advancing in the postseason. The upcoming game against the Colts is pivotal for multiple reasons. Both teams are coming off a bye week, so there's no rest advantage for either side. However, a win for Denver would give them a significant edge in the playoff race, improving their record to 9-5 and putting more distance between them and the Colts in the standings. Not to mention, a victory would secure the all-important head-to-head tiebreaker over Indianapolis, which could prove critical in such a tight race. These next 2 games, against the Colts and Chargers, represent make-or-break moments for the Broncos. A pair of wins could solidify their playoff standing and set the stage for a strong finish to the regular season. Head coach Sean Payton and his staff have made some strategic decisions aimed at maximizing Denver's chances down the stretch. One such move was agreeing to play the Bengals on a short week in Week 16, a decision that could provide Denver with a 3-day rest advantage over Cincinnati. The Bengals will face the Browns in Week 16, giving them only 6 days of rest before taking on the Broncos. Meanwhile, Denver will have 10 days to prepare following their Thursday night game against the Chargers. This type of tactical planning demonstrates the chestnut checkers mindset Payton has brought to the team. The Broncos bye week also provided a chance to evaluate some necessary changes and adjustments. One of the top priorities is the return of cornerback Riley Moss. Moss has been sorely missed, and his absence has exposed vulnerabilities in Denver's secondary. Levi Wallace has struggled as a replacement, particularly in the game against the Browns, where he was frequently targeted. Moss's return could stabilize the defense, particularly in high-pressure situations as the playoffs draw closer. Another area of focus has been the running game. The Broncos need to lean more on Jaleel McLain and Andre Jim, who have shown flashes of brilliance in recent weeks. Javonte Williams, while a talented back, has struggled to maintain consistency. With McLain and Jim providing a spark, the coaching staff might opt to shift the balance of carries to give Denver's ground game the jolt it needs heading into the final games of the season. Consistency in the backfield will be key, especially as the Broncos face physical defenses in their remaining matchups. Perhaps the most exciting development for Broncos fans has been the growth of rookie quarterback Bo Nix. Since taking over as the starter, Nix has consistently answered the call, improving week by week. From his early season struggles with footwork to his recent primetime win against the Browns, Nix has shown poise beyond his years. The next step for him? Unlocking the deep ball and adding explosive plays to the offense. If the Broncos are going to make a deep postseason run, they'll need Nix to deliver big-time moments when it matters most. Denver's final 4 games will test their resilience and preparation. The Colts and Chargers are up first, with both games carrying immense playoff implications. The matchup against the Bengals could tilt the scales in Denver's favor if they capitalize on their rest advantage. And, of course, the regular season finale against the Chiefs will be a chance to prove they can go toe-to-toe with one of the league's best teams. What do you think, Broncos fans? Can Denver finish strong and secure a favorable playoff position? Do you agree with the strategy of leaning more on McClin and Jem in the running game? And how confident are you in Bo Nix leading the team into the postseason? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for the next breakdown, where we'll dive deeper into the Broncos' remaining schedule and what needs to happen for them to secure a playoff berth. As the Denver Broncos prepare for their remaining 4 games, one thing is clear: every matchup carries enormous weight. The Colts game at home this Sunday is the first domino that could dictate the team's trajectory for the rest of the season. Both teams are coming off bye weeks, but Denver's situation is uniquely challenging. Due to the scheduling quirks pointed out by Sean Payton, the Broncos had less recovery time than most teams, with their bye week partially eaten into by their Monday night game against the Browns. Adding to the adversity, the Colts also had a bye week, eliminating any rest advantage Denver might have hoped to use. The scheduling frustrations don't end there. Denver agreed to play on Thursday night against the Chargers, which will force them into another quick turnaround. This decision wasn't without strategy, though. The team opted for this short week knowing it would give them extra rest heading into their critical Week 16 matchup against the Bengals. With Cincinnati already on the brink of playoff elimination, a well-rested Broncos squad could capitalize on the Bengals' fatigue after a grueling divisional game against the Browns. These calculated moves demonstrate the team's commitment to finding any edge possible, even in the face of what feels like constant hurdles from the league. One of the most debated topics among fans is how Denver should approach its running game. Javonte Williams, once viewed as the workhorse back of the future, hasn't consistently delivered the explosive performances fans hope for this season. Meanwhile, Jaleel McClin has stepped up, offering a spark that the offense desperately needs. Andre Jem has also flashed potential, adding depth to the rotation. The coaching staff faces a critical decision. Should they stick with the proven veteran in Williams, or fully embrace the hot hand approach with McClin and Jem? The decision could have significant implications for the offense. With the defense playing at a high level and keeping games close, Denver's ability to establish a dominant ground game could be the difference between securing wins or falling short in tight contests. This is especially true against opponents like the Colts and Chargers, whose defenses are vulnerable to the run. Another area of focus during the bye week has been the secondary. Levi Wallace's struggles in recent games have exposed a glaring need for improvement. If Riley Moss can return to the lineup, it could stabilize a unit that has been inconsistent at times. Moss's physicality and instincts make him a crucial piece for the Broncos, especially as they prepare to face quarterbacks like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow in the weeks ahead. Broncos fans, now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Bo Nix is ready to take the next step and deliver those explosive plays we've been waiting for? Should the team pivot to Jaleel McClin as the primary back, or stick with Javonte Williams despite his struggles? And how confident are you in Sean Payton's strategic moves down the stretch, including the decision to play the Bengals on a short week? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on all things Broncos. Let's keep the conversation going and make sure we're ready for what promises to be an exhilarating end to the season.